G'day and welcome to the South African lawn. Right, Ouens, welcome to the Kentucky bluegrass lawn, which is looking rather pale and worn out. So a couple of problems here. Still the yellow oxalis creeping, not making my lawn look too lacquer. However, I'm slowly but surely getting it under control. All these light green patches are weeds. Ouens, yellow oxalis. Another issue, even more obvious and more clear, is that my lawn is taking an absolute beating by this flippin' desert weather we've got. 30 degrees and plus every single day, Ouens. It's working on my nerves a bit, especially if you've got a cool season lawn like this Kentucky bluegrass. Every year, September, and until we get the first rain after the winter, this thing is a struggle. To keep it hydrated is a bit of a struggle. A couple of things going on. Once again, compacted and poor, sandy, rocky soil here on top. Another thing is, this bluegrass is thick, Ouens. It is super thick, hence not the dog, the YT. The YT is out. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to thin out this lawn. If I've got time today, otherwise tomorrow, I'll add an application of wetting agent to try and get this lawn to hold on to a bit of water. Because what's happening now is I'm putting down water every second day through my sprinklers, and then every other day that it's not getting water with the sprinklers, I'm putting down water with my hand. And the thing that I'm seeing is I'm putting down water and it kind of just runs on top. This lawn is very thick. I've been fertilizing quite regularly, quite often, quite religiously. And I've got a very thick lawn, and more or less the same thing is happening here with the putting green. Now the thing that's happening is it can't hold on to too much water. So I want to thin it out a little bit. It's really thick. I don't even think it'll do anything to the appearance, to try and get this lawn to hold a bit more onto nutrients and water especially. Let's get into the video. Thanks for joining. Hey Maliki. Okay, so out with the electrical cord, unfortunately. If they had this thing in petrol for 5,000 Rand more, probably would have taken that. I only paid about 1,000 for this. But yeah, I'm not a great fan of the electrically. Yeah, so here it is. The YT 6702, as you might have remembered from some of my previous videos. Guys, cheap machine, flimsy machine. It kind of feels like it could break at any second, but what a beast it is. A lot of people have contacted me to find out where they can get this. This YT 6702 is a Scarify / verticutter that you can find at Leroy Merlin. But believe me, it's quite difficult to find stock. A couple of people after the renovations contacted me and said, Merrick, we cannot get hold of this machine. Right, and so it comes with two attachments here. The first one is this one that I know is a Scarifying blade. And the one that I've got fitted on the machine here, the verticutting blade. Very simple, you just remove those two nuts and bolts, or bolts there, whatever. And then this drive thingy just slots into the other side, and then you just tie it onto that part right there. So very simple to swap out. Big difference, verticutter, you can go a little bit more aggressive. You can almost go to like subsoil, or just below the soil surface, and it digs a lot of that underground medium out, whereas your Scarifying blade is more designed for on top. Okay, but also both of them works fantastic. So I'm going to set it to maybe a -5, and then we're going to have a go and see how much medium we can remove. I'll probably go down to -10. I normally end up going to -10. I think that should be being sold in South Africa, that should be -10 mils. I don't think it's deep enough. I'm probably going to go to -10 just to dig in a little bit deeper. But as you can see, it's already pulling out quite a lot of brown stuff. Yeah, that's much better. I've only got 2 in-ground sprinklers, One right there and one right here close to the camera. So I'm just going to put stones over them so that I don't run into them with that verticutting blade. Where is that thing? I am going to walk to the compost pile about 472 times. So the results are rather pleasing. So the parts where the catcher gets full, it kind of drops this behind. But you can really see quite a nice groove in the turf. Nice. I'll see you tomorrow for round 2. All right, to let the work continue. So my gimbal is doing this funny thing where it can't seem to keep itself level. Not 100% sure. I've got no time to figure that out. So maybe just pop a seasick pull. Let me go on with my work. So that has done wonders for this lawn. This last little, I want to say fifth, sorry, my gimbal is absolutely freaking out. I've left the catcher off to show you how much medium, and this is the second pass right there, how much medium still gets ripped out. It can probably do with another 2 passes, but I think that's fine for now. Really, in preparation, it's almost like a renovation, guys, to like expose the soil again. So I think that's a done for this step, and then we need to add the wetting agent. Yeah, so it's the next day, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my cylinder mower with a catcher to try and pick up most of these dead thatchy materials that's lying on my lawn. So I've put all the cuttings here on this pile, quite a lot to be honest with you. I think about 3 of those 50-litre dustbins full. Put them on the compost pile. Hopefully it's not too much, but it's quite a big compost pile by now. I need to get this thing going because today is the warmest day of the last, I would say probably this year. Predicted to go to 35 degrees, a lot of wind. Guys, this place will dry out and fry within a couple of hours. I can see already a couple of brownish, deadish looking spots. Not looking great. So I want to get my wetting agent down as fast as possible. Really, before I go to work today, I need to get this done. You won't believe what I'm telling you now, but it's already mowing a lot more pleasant. It used to have that thatchy feel to it. It started to get that thatchy feel, and now I can just feel the mower feels like it can run a lot straighter, and that's due to me obviously removing a lot of the medium out of the soil, or out of the grass, you know, below the green grass. And also another thing is I've lifted the grass blades up, so that trained grass leaf blades no longer lay in those directions. I've kind of picked it all up. That wraps up the mowing. So I don't know if you can recall, last year I top dressed with sand, and I absolutely love sand. However, I didn't do this lawn a long-term favor. Honestly, I flattened it out nicely, but what this lawn really needs is a ton of soil, organic matter, to try and change this part here, this rocky part here, to act more like a good soil environment. Very sandy and rocky there, doesn't hold on to nutrients, doesn't hold on to water, and that's why I sit with this issue. If you look at the bottom half of this lawn, I know the temperatures are horrendous and it's way too warm. You can see it just where the soil is. It holds on to water, nutrients, color, it grows double the pace. It's just so much better, the bottom half compared to the top half. Ah, so it's looking good, eh? It's looking real good. Look at those stripes, guys. Very difficult to mow very straight here because the banking of this yard is that way. But you can clearly see the grooves where I went in with a verticutter. I must say it feels a lot better, like I said a few moments back. Yeah, so you can actually clearly see that I've done two passes. You can see all the lines coming in this direction. And if you turn this way, you can see all the lines going in that direction. So basically it's creating like kind of small blocks. If you look at it from this angle, you'll see like diamond shaped square, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Right guys, so I'm going to pre-fill this tank with water. It's already got a little bit of liquid in there. But what I'm putting down today is this Alow Vital, which is a fertilizer slash wetting agent. It's also got some Umix in it. So a very good product, but I'm using it as a wetting agent primarily today. I'm also going to add some NC32 nitrogen liquid fertilizer. So I'm going to probably fill this tank to, let's say, maybe just above half, which will be more than enough water. I'm not too worried when I'm doing an application where I'm going to water it in later about the product to water litre ratio. When you're adding herbicides and those type of things, that is very important. You don't want to go double the water or half the water, because that'll obviously increase the strength of your product by double or dilute it and make it less effective. But when I'm doing an application where I apply it and then put water straight after that, which I'm going to do today to get the wetting agent straight into the soil, then I don't really see the point in worrying too much in how much liters of water I've got compared to mils of product that I'm using. So guys, none of these products can really burn the lawn. These recommended 100 mils per 100 square meters per application. I'm going to go at got about 170 or 180 square of lawn here besides the green. So I'm going to do, I've got about 300 mils here. So I'm going to do about 2/3 of what I've got left here. That should be about it. Like I say, not too worried once again because I'm going to water it in. It's not going to stay on the leaf blade. Then I'm going to do about a half a litre of this. So just mix it properly, switch it on, and happy spraying, guys. Happy spraying. Ooh, it's quite heavy. Oh, my word.
I love to wake up sun. Whoa, lie in the sun.
Yeah guys, the spraying is done. Now I need to get water on this as fast as possible before it all dries out. So I want to have it as liquidy as possible while I drain it into the soil. Guys, let me tell you, this Orovital, I don't know if you can smell that, just this wetting agent is, I think, derived from like orange peels or something like that, and it just smells so good. I would literally throw a litre out in my car just to get that smell every day. Alright, so I'm turning on the sprinklers. Let me just try and dodge them as best I can. Guys, so that's going to wrap it up. I've got my sprinklers on for 50 minutes right now. I probably need to do more wetting agent applications, to be 100% honest with you. This lawn really needs it, and I'm going to stop with the top dressing with sand, and I need to focus for a few years in adding a lot of organic and soil-based top dress mediums, especially to this top area. This lawn is crying for it. Obviously I wasn't sure how this lawn was going to react, because before I planted the Kentucky bluegrass there was nothing here, nothing actively growing, so I didn't have a true reflection in how the soil was going to react. But that's the learning curve. That's how you figure out your yard. I advise you to do the same thing. So guys, that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to water in this fertilizer. There probably won't be an update video of this. Why? Because it's not going to do much. It's just going to help retain moisture and nutrients in the soil. So it's something that you should do often. It's something that I do very often on the putting green, because the water there really beads up and runs off, especially when you put a lot of water. So exactly what's happening here, so the droplets kind of get stuck on the grass leaf blade, and when you put a lot of water, it kind of beads up on top and runs off. So guys, let me try and show you what I mean. So this hasn't received wetting agent in the last week or so, and I do this probably once a week, but more realistically once every 2 weeks. So just see how the water beads up on top of the grass, and as soon as you, hey, there goes the sprinkler. As soon as you add a wetting agent, it really makes its way much easier into the grass. This is really thick and hairy grass, so it struggles. Check that, guys. That's exactly what wetting agents help for, and this isn't even poor soil, so that happens. Check how it's running on the grass, and the same thing happens there. Wetting agents are great in preventing this. You obviously can't see this as well on the lawn because most of the grass runs in between the grass leaf blades. So guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you learned something. Get yourself a wetting agent, especially in dry periods like this. In the middle of the summer, when we receive a lot of rain, especially in the high veld, it masks your soil's problems. But when it's dry and windy, it exposes those problems. Take note of what happens and target those areas, the problem areas. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers for now. Bye-bye. I've put some wetting agent on this dark spot right here. Let's put some water and see if we can spot a difference, guys. I'm also going to add some water a little bit longer where there's no wetting agent for now. Let's just give it a second, and clearly you can see the difference. This is not nearly beating up as much, breaking the surface tension much easier compared to there, guys. Look at that water beating up there, whereas this already making its way through.